For a long time, I've been having dreams of windmills, okay? And at first I was like, I'm Don Quixote and I have to fight him or something like that. But no matter what media I open up, turn on the TV, whatever, the first thing that comes up are windmills. And I'm really having a hard time figuring out what all this means with me.
Don't think well, it's too late. You've already been thinking a lot about it. But without giving it too much further thought, what does a windmill in its purest form represent to you?
Energy.
And what other things come to mind? Jerry and Esther have windmills all over their property. And
it's like a sustainable energy.
Sustainable is a good word. What else?
It's something that's always going to be there.
Natural resources, steady, always there, steady as the wind, valuable, usable, free.
Right. Not if the government gets their whole hands on it, though.
Say louder.
Not if the government gets their hands on it, though.
But the government cannot capture all of the wind. Oh, it's not windy today. The government must have it.
And I'm just wondering if I need to move in that direction or just enjoy windmills.
Before we took any action with a wind farm or anything like that, we would step back just a little bit and contemplate. Did you say you're dreaming of windmills?
Yeah. Oh, constantly.
So when you awaken from one of those dreams, what's the first feeling that you are aware of before you remember that the government's after them? How does it feel in your dream? What kind of visual? Are you standing under them? Are you seeing them from a distance?
I'm helping build them. But not the windmills that we see now, different. And I'm having a hard time trying to decipher, is something locked in my brain that needs to come out on paper so they can build it? Or should I start building windmills? Or
this is important. You heard us talking earlier about how once something manifests in your dream, it means that it's active enough in your vibration that it has become a reality. It's not as real as the reality that you are taking to the bank and spending, but it's more vivid and closer to you even than the reality that's over there in your vibrational escrow. So it is accurate to say that once you begin having these vivid dreams, especially if they are chronic, it means that something that definitely is in your vibrational escrow is coming close enough into your day-to-day vibration that you're starting to manifest it, at least in part. So if we were having dreams like that, we would begin saying, I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do or what I'm going to do, but I can feel that I'm moving in a direction of, and I want further dreams to give me further insight. So just play with it a little bit. We said earlier that when you want something and you believe it, now there's no separation in your vibration, and there's a powerful vibration then, millions of times more powerful than those who are not aligned like that, and so much power of influence. When you want something but you doubt it, now there's a struggle and discord within you, and it's really not all that pleasant of a state of being. So,
say that again.
So it's not all that pleasant.
Thank you.
So when you have an idea of something and you can feel it calling you, but you keep offering, and we say keep meaning continue, meaning chronic, mean keep it active. A thought, a belief is only a thought that you keep thinking. And so when you keep a belief alive that is contrary to a desire you want, then you hold the dream back. You hold it back from becoming a reality. Now, in this case, it's so wonderful. You are such a good picture for us to explain this. You have a powerful desire to do something, but you keep shooting yourself in the foot with your reality conversation. You're so objective objective and so aware of things. For example, the first thing you said, you talked about this dream of this windmill, and then you mumbled, we asked you to repeat it just because we wanted to make the point openly if the government doesn't get hold of it and screw it all up. So you've got this desire that you keep trampling, this desire that you trample, this desire that you trample. A lot of people trample desires. I want it, but I don't know how. I want it, but I don't know how.
That's where I feel I'm at.
Well, you've gone further. I want it, but I don't know how. I want it, but I don't know what to do. I want it, but it's getting to be uncomfortable in wanting it. I want it, but there's no point in really letting it go because there are people that have wanted it longer, that are more in. They've already got the wind farms all plotted. They've already got the laws all screwed around to their advantage. There's no point in me. In other words, you've been beating a lot of drums that weren't about windmills that really apply in a negative way to this. So your desire sort of gets cut off at the knees, except this is the most interesting thing. Your desire is strong enough that even amidst all that chronic resistance, you still squeak a dream out every now and again. And that's the value of these dreams, because while you're asleep, you're not resistant. So what you really want and what you really know can often come about in your dreamscape because you're not in there cutting it off at the knees so readily. Do you know how much effort we had to go to get you to the chair? In other words, your desire was strong enough that you lighted up for us, and you had enough resistance going on that under normal circumstances, we wouldn't have messed with you. We wouldn't have even seen you. We would have gone on to a much easier case. But your desire was so strong, we were compelled to stay with you, but we had to beg you to the chair.
Well, thank you.
And it's sort of the same kind of thing going on. In fact, it's exactly the same thing going on. You've got desires that you're canceling, desires that you're canceling, desires that you're canceling. And when you stop doing that thing you do, as you've learned about pessimism, as you've learned to not trust the government, as you've learned that things like that are harder, then you don't let your dream flourish in the way that it would if you just stopped doing that thing you do.
But I want it to flourish, and I'm trying every avenue to let it flourish.
Not every avenue, because you're still willing to harbor negative thoughts that keep shooting it in the foot. You want it, but it feels like too big a price to pay. I have to get happy too.
I guess that is
I have to be optimistic too. I have to have positive expectation too. Isn't it enough to just want it? Do I have to want it and believe it? Yes. Now, we were talking earlier, we had a really good conversation that was sort of the precursor for this earlier. And it goes like this. If this time-space reality has the wherewithal to give you a desire, it has the wherewithal to produce it for you. In other words, everything necessary is being assembled over here in this vibrational escrow. And you heard us say earlier, and this is the most vivid and factual accounting that we could ever give you. The contrast that you've been living, in other words, fuel costing too much, makes you want something more efficient. Oil reserves seem like they have a finite supply, makes you want something that's always going to be there. The burning of the fossil fuels causing pollution and other unwanted things makes you want something better for the environment. So there have been so many things, especially lately, that you've been chewing on that have caused not just you, but a lot of you to put this magnificent creation over there in this vibrational reality. So there it is. Now, the thing that we most want to express to you so that you can feel it is that when you put it there, and you did, you can feel it, no one's going to swoop in and take it away from you. This is the chronic belief that we want to help you to resolve. If you and what you've lived have caused you, and it did, to put it in yours, and it is, vibrational reality, and it's there, then you have the wherewithal to see it to fruition. So it's there, and it's a done deal. It's done, it's done, it's done. But you say, I don't know what to do. And we say,
that's exactly right. I don't know what to do.
But the reason you don't know what to do is because you didn't get in the vortex yet where all of the answers are. In other words, it's swirling over here as a reality. It's like walking up to something magnificent and saying, I can't imagine how they created that. It's a reality, but how did they make it? And we say, if you focused on it long enough, you'd figure out how it happened. In other words, your creation is complete. And in there, hear this. In that vibrational reality, in there, with the thing that is done, is the path that got it done. It's all in there. But you're not in there. You're over here. Government, or whatever. We're exaggerating that a bit, but it was your mistake. You said it.
Yeah, that's right.
Your vibrational reality is real, but you got to get it in there occasionally where it is vibrationally before you begin to see the evidence, before you see the path. When you try to be too specific, then you get more resistant in nature. When you're more general, you get more allowing in nature. So the rule of thumb is be as specific as you can be and still feel good. When you talk about what you want and why you want it, there's usually little resistance. When you talk about what you want and how you're going to get it, when it's going to come, who's going to help you, where it's going to come from, where's the money going to come from, when you ask questions that you don't know the answers to, it pulls you out of the vortex and puts you over here away from it, where you don't then have access to the solutions that you would have access to if you could just get in there. So get general and get in there. Oh, that's the best way of saying it. Get general and get in there. Think about what has worked in your life. So what you just said, you said, I thought about this and I wanted it and it came to me. When you think that thought, you're in there. But then you jumped right back out and you said, but I don't know how that happened. And that seems different than this. When you argue for your limitations, you get out there where the solutions aren't. When you argue for your alignment, you get in there where the solutions and the paths are. You can't have the kind of vivid dream that you've had without being a big piece of something revolutionary that's coming. Don't let the fact that you've dreamed it and can't yet see the avenue, don't let that set you back. Every big thing that's ever happened was dreamed by someone, and the ones that allowed themselves to dream it, even in the absence of evidence, were the ones who found it, you see. Get over here where the vibrational, emotional evidence is, instead of standing over here and demanding physical, actualized evidence. And that is what faith is. Faith is finding the emotional journey, finding the vibration of success even before the evidence is there. Closing the gap. We've been talking about it all day. That's weird, isn't it? To celebrate your success before you have actually found the process. It's downright weird, actually.
So I should start celebrating that I'm going to...
It's downright weird to be so bold as to expect wonderful things without an already plotted out plan. But we promise you, every major invention, every revolutionary idea, including your computers and iPods and on 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 it goes. Every bit of everything that you have evolved to was at one time just somebody's weird idea that they lined up with until the universe made it reality. And then everybody else said, I could have had stock in that.
Okay, well, thank you.
We have enjoyed this interaction more than words can say. You are magnificent beings out here on the leading edge of thought, and it is a wonderful thing that has happened today. We have taken thought beyond that which has been before. There has been a vibrational shift within you. You're much more in the allowing part of the equation than you were before. Not that you needed it. You don't need us for that, but it certainly has been the consequence of this time together. And so you're closer to what's in your vibrational vortex, your vibrational reality, than you usually are, which means you will see evidence in the immediate future of that consistent aligning that has taken place in the hours that we've been together today. Revel in it, take pleasure in it, and take pride in it. In other words, say to yourself, as you begin to see the clues unfold of the things that you want, say to yourself, I did that. I took the action that caused the alignment that put me in the vicinity that makes it possible for me to see this. All day, every day, Say what you know about law of attraction and speak about its consistency. Revel in your understanding of your own guidance system. Make a determination that you will do your best to line up with who you really are. Appreciate everything that goes wrong and call it a step one experience. Don't beat up on yourself when you feel negative emotion. Instead, take pride in the fact that your guidance system is working and that you can feel what's going on, and then make another decision if you feel like it in that moment.